Stennis Space Center, and we are America's largest rocket engine test complex. I'm going to be sharing some historical information with you and some facts and figures as we tour our Space Center here. The tour will be about 20 to 25 minutes, and we'll be going out to our test complex, and then if you'll look over to the left, you'll see a lock system which is designed similar to one used in the Panama Canal. It's about 670 feet long and 110 feet wide. And the body of water outside the lock system is the East Pearl River, and eventually it meets with the Gulf of Mexico. It's maintained at this location by the National Data Buoy Center. They are a division of NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. The building where the emblems are located is a 240,000 gallon tank of water and dive equipment such as the Rufus. The NRL collects, processes, and analyzes ocean data that will be used to further maritime technologies. Also to the left, we'll be passing our Mississippi Technology Transfer Center, where products from NASA's research is placed into public and consumer use. In just a moment to the left, you'll see our NASA Administrative Building with our NASA logo, the meatball symbol. This building has a main cafeteria, a dry cleaner, travel agency, a barber shop and gift store, Hancock Bank, as well as Keesler Federal Credit Union, and a post office, all conveniently located in one place for employees. Out front of the building where the flags are located, you'll see actual rocket engines. The one to the left is a Space Shuttle main engine. Engine to the right is an actual J2
Now,
engine. The B1, B2 is a dual position test stand, so engines can be tested vertically as well as horizontally. It stands about 295 feet tall. When the red and white crane is fully extended, it stands 407 feet tall. The red and white crane was used to suspend the first stage of the Saturn V when they conducted the test. When we test the engines, temperatures in the bottom portion, which are called the flame deflector buckets, can reach as hot as 6,000 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to melt steel. And theoretically, the stand could melt, but our engineers drilled over 80,000 quarter-inch holes in those buckets, and our high-pressure water facility will pump more than 300,000 gallons of water per minute that we test the engines, up to about 8.5 minutes before leaving us. And it cools those flame deflector buckets to about 212 degrees Fahrenheit. So potential all the way from 6,000 degrees to 212 degrees. And the flame deflector buckets is where all the heat and exhaust are deflected from the stand when we conduct those tests. It's rather a clean burn-off, H2O or water, 2 parts hydrogen and 1 part oxygen. The A2 is where we conducted our final Space Shuttle main engine test, which occurred July 2009. Now the A1, which is furthest away, it was kind of decommissioned for the shuttle program in 2008, and the renovation began on that stand, but it wasn't until 2009 that renovation began on the A2. But there's a next generation of the J2, which is the J2X, and to the right on the fence you'll see the banner, and that's the engine that we'll be testing in the future. We'll no longer have the Space Shuttle, so it's not going to be the STS, the Space Transportation System. The new vehicles will be called the Space Launch System, so it'll be the SLS. And there should be 2 of them, one for crew and one for cargo. Now our new stand still under construction is the A3, and that's the largest stand to be built since the 60s. It's an open steel frame structure there. When it's completed, probably 2012, kind of earlier mid-year, it will stand 300 feet tall. It will hold more than 4 million pounds of structural steel. They will be using that stand to test engines for altitudes up to 100,000 feet above sea level. So that is the plan for the A3. The white building between A1 and A2 is the TCC, or Test Control Center, and it has actually 2 stories, but we're looking at the story above ground. The other one is below. It is a double wall construction. It is made of 2 walls, each 18 inches thick of concrete and steel, and the windows, they are made of bulletproof Lexan glass. so they would not chatter when we connect the tap. Large acoustical air horn, when they tested for the engines for the Sounder 5, they would use that horn. It sounded like one F1 engine, and they would sound it, and it would be rotated in a circle. Sound monitors would pick up the noise level, and they could determine if it was a suitable day for testing of the engines. And sometimes the sounds could be heard as far as Baton Rouge as well as Mobile, and it registered like a small earthquake was occurring here on the mountain.
No difference between the suits that the female astronauts wear or the male astronauts. The components and parts are interchangeable. During the days of the Apollo program, each of the suits were custom made for each astronaut. So if a suit was made for Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong would not be able to use that suit unless he was the same size as Buzz Aldrin at the same time. While some members are asleep, some are still awake and working, keeping everything running smoothly.
This is Jane. And there comes Nancy right there.
Come on, Pat. I'm here. See me right there.
This is all of us right here. Look just like it.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah. They must have been doing that before. Yeah.
Now that we've had our appetizer, we're ready for lunch. Yeah.
Eating ice cream.
That's an appetizer.
There's a piece left. Somebody want it?
Now you eat it.
No, you're not coming back. Don't leave back. I can't see you.
Yes, ma'am.